Good morning, everyone. We are so excited to be back with you again from the Chillicothe Chamber. And today we are bringing you Monica Wolfe from Sol Oasis. She is going to tell us all about the importance of self-care and your mental health as you kind of work through these trying times that we all are together in during the COVID-19 pandemic that is sweeping our nation. So making sure that we're bringing you very good information from reliable sources, and what better way to do that than to tap into our own resources locally with one of our chamber members, Monica Wolfe. So thank you, Monica.
Thank you. Hello.
So good to see your face, even if it is virtually.
Yes,
Haven't we all found that we're all lacking like that engagement and interaction piece? So even if it's through a screen, it's still so nice to be able to see people.
definitely.
So first, Monica, I would love for you just to tell a little bit for people that perhaps aren't familiar with you or familiar with Sol Oasis, a little bit about your credentials, what led you to this career path, and all about Sol Oasis.
Okay, so I am, like you said, Monica Wolfe, and I'm a licensed professional counselor. And I have been in the mental health field since 2003. But I've been a licensed professional counselor for about 10 years now. And I specialize with kids and families. And that's that. It's just my passion. I love making sure or helping people to find that connection again with their kids, or with maybe not, like, I don't necessarily do marriage counseling, but
Yes.
I do like to help people find connection with each other. So
That's great.
yeah,
And then Sol Oasis is really an extension of that concept, correct?
it is. So you know how people, this is kind of like my go-to, this is how I explain it. So you know how people kind of struggle with, especially moms and women, I guess, in general, they struggle with finding time to take care of themselves, and to focus on their health and wellness. Guilty. We all are at some point. Well, I, through Sol Oasis, want to help empower these women or these people with the services that we provide. And we offer a variety of services, not just fitness classes, but that's a big part of it. And we have mental health, and we also have a chiropractor. I mean, we have tons of services to help you reach your wellness, health and wellness goals.
Well, and I know that maybe not everybody thinks of this as one, but I have used Holly Ropp with the Skin Studio, who is located in Sol Oasis, to get a facial. I know people are probably like, a facial, what does that have to do with wellness? I'm telling you, if you take care of yourself, you can better take care of others. And I'm not always the best at it, but I'm telling you, when I do, my family reaps the reward. So yes, and I know they're essential oils and hair care, like you just offer the whole gamut.
Yes, we do. So you are exactly right, because when you are taking care of yourself, you can help others, meet their goals as well. So like when we're taking care of ourselves, we're also taking care of our families, because we're our best selves.
That's true. So true. So we've touched on this briefly, but I think we all feel it now more than ever. You know, I think there's a lot of moms necessarily, and not just moms and dads both, that now are working remotely. So we're pushed a little bit out of our comfort zone. Things are not normal. Things are not typical. Routines have been completely chucked out the window. Everybody's kind of scrambling, trying to find themselves. So I'm a firm believer that now more so than ever, possibly, it is so important to take care of ourselves and self-care. And that looks a little bit different for everybody, but I would just love to have your expertise on why if you echo that sentiment, if you think it's also very important at this point in time, and maybe share some tips with us on things that we can be doing from our homes or our yards or our neighborhoods, while we're still, self-distancing and following all the recommendations, but some things that we can be doing.
So I think it is so different for everyone. Self-care is so different for everyone, and we have to know that that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
So like show love, not judge, because just
Preach it.
let's
Yes.
just put that out there.
So
Because
true.
everyone is different. We are made different, and that is okay.
Mhm.
And so everything's going to look different. And so self-care is different for everyone. But I will give you some ideas. So,
Wonderful.
but first, the first thing I would say is we need to acknowledge and identify that feeling. We're not always good at that. We want to stuff it. A lot of people want to stuff it and not identify it. And when we give it a name, like maybe it's sad or frustrated, confused, angry, disappointed. Maybe you're really disappointed because you really love work and you can't go to work. I don't know. But when we give it a name, it doesn't have so much power over us anymore. Okay. So I would say the first thing would be identify what you're feeling. Don't stuff it. Identify it. Okay. That's a huge self-care thing.
And it's okay to feel it. It's okay to not have it all together all the time.
Yes, it's okay. Let yourself cry for a little bit. The problem is whenever you're crying all day, every day. The problem is whenever you're acting out on your anger. It's okay to have feelings. We are made to have feelings. It is okay. That's like my key thing. It is okay.
Yes, it's okay to feel things.
Yes. So I think when we don't identify what we're feeling, we will stuff it. And in turn, that means we won't cope with it. And so it'll come back later on and we'll be like, where is this coming from? Yes. We've all been there. We've all done this because we haven't dealt with something. Maybe we weren't ready to deal with it, but maybe now we are because it's bubbling up.
Mm-hmm. And it's really better to deal with it now while we are quarantined, get all that yucky stuff figured out and through our system. So whenever everything does get back to a new normal, whatever that looks like in a period of time, that we can be joyful and happy and ready to engage with others.
Yes. So exactly. It's also important to acknowledge that there are positive and negative coping skills. Okay. And we all have them. Let's just be real. We just do. Yeah. So positive, I'm going to focus on positive. The positive, I'll just name a few of them. So remembering to connect with your support people. Who are your core people? Who would you, most of us, it's our first family, our immediate family. Okay. Sometimes it's your best friends. A lot of times it's your best friends and stuff like that too. So think about those and make sure that you're reaching out to them. And not just how it helps you, but also them. It helps them, realize, oh, you do love me. Spread that love. So yeah, I think that's important. That is a form of self-care because you still feel somewhat connected to your people. It does look different, but at least you're still connecting with them. I would say get outside daily, exercise. I don't care walk, sit in the sun, not too long because we don't want you to get, skin cancer, but
but a little bit of vitamin D does everybody some good.
Yes, garden, get outside. I don't care what you do, but breathe that fresh air because it is rejuvenating. Establish a routine. We've had to change our routines and it is hard. We are all adjusting. All of us are adjusting.
I'm still on the struggle bus with that one a little bit. I haven't been very good about setting a new routine other than I do make myself still every morning get up. I don't stay in my pajamas. I take a shower, put my face on, fix my hair, you know what I mean? And then walk my 12 feet, you know what I mean? And go into my dining room, which is now my home office. So I do have that going, but the kids, still a little bit on the struggle bus with that one, figuring out a routine. But we'll get
I think you hit on a huge point because a lot of people need that. They need to get up at the normal time or somewhat normal time, do their routine, and that makes them feel ready for the day. They might be more productive that way. Adam even said that. He was like, I feel like I just need to get dressed and ready and I do more.
I saw a friend on Facebook say, she was, kind of excited. She's single, lives by herself. And whenever they got the call to stay home, work from home, she was like, I got my office all set up. And that morning I thought, woohoo, I get to work in my pajamas. And she said she sat down and within 30 minutes, she was like, nope. And literally had to go and change and put on real clothes because she was like, I couldn't do it. It just wasn't normal.
Yeah, it's not working for me.
Yeah.
So a few other things that you could do is write in a journal, and I'll talk a little bit more about this, later on in this interview.
Segment.
But maybe writing in a journal, get crafty. That's always fun. Get crafty. You see all these, like the sidewalk chalk stuff.
Yes.
That's so cool. Decorating your door. That's cool. I like that. Read a book. Slow down, and it's okay to slow down. We're all slowing down, and maybe we'll find, I think Mr. Dave Hollis said this. He said I'm not going to get the words right, and that's okay. But he said something like, in this slowdown, figure out what's worth keeping and don't lose it after we go back to our normal. So it's time to recreate our normal. Like, are we enjoying some of this? Because I'm hearing a lot of us are enjoying the slowdown, the pace. It's a little bit better.
I have found myself, I used to always feel like I was on a timer. You know what I mean? Like in the evening, and it was like, okay, but we got to get this done because then we got to get this done and we got to get, and now all of a sudden the other night I said something about I think it was, we were going to go for a drive, and it was like 7:30, and my oldest, who's 14, goes, tonight? Like, we're going tonight? Because it was like a random Tuesday night. And I go, yeah. And he goes, okay. And I go, what else do we have to do? Like, it's okay to be a little spontaneous and not have such a structured, rat race of a life where we have so many things going on. So I think people are embracing it a little bit. And much to what you said, that's the thing I've seen people saying is, I just hope people remember this. You know what I mean? Whenever everything does kick back into high gear, I hope people will remember what was really important and how they felt when they were going through this time.
Mm-hmm. Yes, 100%. Because I have thought about that probably every day. Because, wow, it's intense. Like, you go through a roller coaster of emotions, and then you're like, but I actually kind of like the slowdown. I really do.
And I think people, at least speaking for my profession and what we've been dealing with on the back end, is the first couple weeks were just pandemonium. And the best way I can describe it is that I felt like a little bit walking on eggshells, and that we just kept waiting for the other shoe to drop. And now we've, at least received news from the governor of how he wants the state to move forward. The funding mechanisms have released. And so now it's like, okay, we've got these things in place, and we at least have a little bit more sense of direction, albeit still a little crazy at times. But for the most part now, last night, my boys and I, we went fishing in the pond next door, and we, different things like that on a normal average Tuesday night, we definitely would not have been able to do. So again, like you said, trying to embrace the change as much as possible.
Yes, it's important.
So I know you mentioned there is some other activities and things that are still offered, because Monica at Sol Oasis has been a shining example of what it has been for a lot of our local businesses to really take this bull by the horns and change things up and adapt. Adaptability has been key with this major change in economy. So why don't you tell us a little bit about things that are offered through Sol Oasis that are still happening, still going on, that people can tap into right now that really will promote their self-care?
Okay, so yes, we have, like I said, we do still have a lot still going on. We have transferred all of our classes except the Wee Wiggle Time. We didn't do that one. That would be a little bit difficult.
Yes.
But we have transferred all of our fitness classes to an online or a virtual format. So they're live still, so they're still at the same time.
Okay.
And we have adjusted classes each week because everybody's schedule is kind of, so we have adjusted a little bit, but we're trying to maintain consistency. So you can typically find that schedule on our website. If you want to take those virtual classes, you are more than welcome. We would love to have you. They're actually a big hit. We've had great numbers. I'm so thankful for that support from the community. It means so much because I'm not going to lie here, I was panicked. I was like,
I think everybody was. You're okay to say that. Yeah.
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 So you just email me and I will get you signed up for that and tell you how that happens. So we still have fitness classes. Elizabeth and I we're doing mental health, we're doing counseling. However, it's 100% telehealth. So it's like this. It's not on Zoom, but it's through our
Yes.
program.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a video chat. Dr. Jennifer Mercer is with 5 Star Chiropractic. She is still coming in on Wednesday, so she'll be here today. She has spread her patients out, so she is being very mindful of the numbers and keeping that down and manageable, and following guidelines and stuff like
Yes.
that. Let's see. Yeah, and that is what we have still here
Okay.
that is functioning.
Well, I know
Yeah.
because there have been questions about, cosmetology and that aspect of it. And the issue with that does become that the 6 foot social distancing recommendation. And I know that's so difficult. But I can tell you, I've been seeing all the different hair care professionals on social media channels saying, wait for us. Don't start cutting your hair at home. Don't box color,
Yeah.
like wait for us. Who are you seeing anyway? You're staying at home, or you should be. So, let that
Right.
grace come through, and it's okay. They will be happy to take care of it for you whenever they come back.
Yes, that's so nice to hear from them
Yes.
because you
Yes.
panicked, like, what's going on?
It's all right. It's all right. Well, is there anything else that we haven't covered that you would love to share with people watching today?
I do want to encourage that positive mindset. And I'll briefly go over this.
Yes.
To keep it short. I mentioned the gratitude journal, and I think that that can be very powerful because so often in these times, in times of struggle, we will get into that negative mindset, and we're training our brain to stay negative. We've all been around people who really struggle with finding positive with anything.
Yeah.
We've all been around people like that. And that's draining. It's hard. Can you imagine what they've done is train their brain to be negative, and they've got to retrain it to be positive. So that gratitude journal, finding something positive, a lot of things positive every single day is so important, because then you're training your brain to think positive rather than negative. Yeah, and you're showing love and not judging, because whenever we're negative, oftentimes we're judging.
And I just was talking to a friend last night about this, about how proud I am of Chillicothe in general, and that I have heard some bad things about other communities, not anywhere near here, from many, many states away, where their community has really turned to shaming people, if they see someone in a store with a small child with them. And my thing is, you don't know that person's story. Maybe that is the only parent that child
Exactly.
has, and they have no other way to go to the store, without taking them with them, or those sorts of things. So I completely agree
Mhm.
that no one is in any position to pass judgment of any sort at this point. And I want to see
Mhm.
Chillicothe and our area remain a shame-free zone, where everybody is just uplifting and encouraging and positive to one another, because that's the only thing that's going to get us all through this.
Yes. Show love, don't judge.
There we go. Show love, don't judge. Well, Monica, thank you so much for taking time to meet with me today. I can't wait for people to hear your encouraging words. She is such a light, people. So make sure and reach out to Monica and all of her counterparts at Sol Oasis. They're doing a great thing here right in Chillicothe. So make sure that you tap into this local resource during this time and after.
Thank you.
We'll see everybody next time.
Bye.